Hello and welcome to the Poverty Franchise Podcast. My name is PJ, and today I'm just doing a quick little NFL mock draft for the Chicago Bears. I just went up and did it. You can see the damn YouTube and shit still up on there. But really, I just want to kind of discuss what I did. I traded back a lot. I started with trading back with the Titans. They go up 2 spots. Trade up with the Giants. Got a lot of late round picks. Traded back with the Texans. Trade up 1 pick to get a couple more, and trade back with the Kansas City to maximize how many picks I got. As y'all can see on the screen, this is what I decided to go with the Chicago Bears, my team. Then I'll go through what it generated. I used NFL mock draft database. Not the best. I'm not going to subscribe like PFF Plus or anything, but with the eternal question, should the Bears go D-line or offensive line first? I truly thought the D-line was horrendous last year. I think we need a big guy in the middle who can put pressure on the QB. That big guy happens to be Brian Brzee from Clemson. Myles Murphy went right before, if I'm not mistaken, those are my 2 favorites at the spot, actually, for edge or nose tackle that the Bears can realistically get. I like Brian Brzee, man. He looks good. His only concern really is health issues. So we can just take a look at his stats. But again, it's really just, can he stay on the field? He has had a season-ending injury while at Clemson. He's played 11, 4, and 10 games over his career at Clemson. But they were all great showings. And he has great intangibles, great frame. Can he just stay on the field? That's the main question. My next pick was tackle out of Syracuse, Matthew Bergeron. He looked good. I like the hand size. I like the explosiveness. He did very well in not the best probably the worst Power 5 conference when I really think about the ACC, but I think he'll be a solid starter out there in the coming future, the second round pick. Then staying in the second round, I also went with Isaiah Foskey out of Notre Dame. I like the production he had, and the Bears also do need help on the edge. I probably should have went edge then tackle. I think the defensive line need that much help. But now the real steal of the second round is North Dakota State's Cody Mauch. That's just I'm going to say that's just a Chicago Bears football player right there. That's just a Chicago Bears football player, and you can't tell me otherwise. I want to do a lot to at least, maybe not even this year, but the next year, hopefully, build a good unit for Justin Fields, like great protection. I think Bergeron, Mauch, and Jenkins can develop together with the leadership of Cody Whitehair out there, still chugging along. I think that's a very formidable unit on the offensive line for health. Next pick, 72nd overall, I went with the speedy receiver out of Houston, Nathaniel Dell. And man, when you look at again, he can contribute as a special teamer out the gate. Sure, I know the Bears have Velus Jones Jr., but he's a lot younger than Velus Jones coming out of college. 1,300 yards, 17 touchdowns last year. 1,400 yards from scrimmage. Oh, and he's returned kicks before. He had a kick return touchdown last year. So, I like him as that 4th receiver. Between Claypool, Mooney, and DJ Moore, someone's going to miss a game or two. He could step right in, play in the slot. You can rotate him out in certain situations. And again, as a special teamer, you'll have more team control over him than Velus. Him and Velus will be competing for snaps. Maybe it raises Velus's game up a bit. But Velus has also shown that he gets hurt. So I think that's a good number 4, number 5 receiver starting out. And with Claypool not being stamped, Claypool doesn't play well this year. He's probably out the door. Dell can slot right into that number 3 spot when Mooney and Moore are just being 2 and 1 respectively. I don't know why I reversed the orders. This is my only real reach, I think, is I went with more defensive line depth in the middle of the draft. I went with Zach Pickens out of South Carolina. Big body, hole plugger, with the pressure that Brzee will be exerting in the middle, and with the linebacking core, hopefully our defensive backs clamping down, there should be a lot, either teams don't have to rely on the run, or just need a big body to either help also rotate Brissy out. You have Travis Gibson on the outside, should open up the game for him a lot as well. This is my only really meme pick. I went with the white cornerback because I think it'd be just hilarious if the Chicago Bears had the first white cornerback in since the 90s. So I just think that'd be funny. But he's also a pretty good player, Riley Moss. And also he can flex out. He can be that in that dime package. DB. He can also fill in at safety when Eddie Jackson goes down next year, because it will happen at some point, and can maybe even file into that spot next to Jaquan Brisker whenever Eddie Jackson's career does come to an end with the Chicago Bears. Went with some more linebacking deck. Nick Herbig out of Wisconsin. First of all, you can't really go wrong with a Big Ten linebacker. But at 6'2", 227, 15.5 tackles for a loss and 11 sacks. It's more edge depth than anything. But between Sanborn, Edwards Jr., and Edmonds, someone's gonna get hurt. There'll be time for snaps. They're all older guys. He can be the next man up. Well, not Sanborn really, but the other two. Edwards is only like a 2-year, 3-year deal. Edmonds is on a long deal, but so there could be a spot for him later on. Kenny McIntosh, Foreman's only on a 1-year deal. If he doesn't perform, he'll be the next man up. Big bruising 6'1" running back out of Georgia. 800 some yards, 10 touchdowns. Now, you will argue that he was on a stacked team, so he didn't really have to do much. But 829 yards rushing and 10 TDs, and added 505 yards in the receiving game. A big back like that at 6'1", 210, who can catch out the backfield, he can be valuable day one as a third down back even. And can maybe, if Foreman doesn't work out, gets hurt, can be the number 2 behind Khalil Herbert for sure. Went with the captain of Cal's football team, Daniel Scott, at safety. This is who I originally picked to be kind of the Eddie Jackson heir apparent. I think that him and Riley Moss will really just be kind of sitting around waiting for snaps. Again, if someone gets hurt, someone doesn't perform, someone like Vildor comes back down, or Brisker, or in the dime package looks, and you bring in that third safety, they can maybe get some snaps in. But I think, again, there's potential for a good rotational piece there. I'm with a tight end next. I went with another Clemson player, Davis Allen. He's a goal line threat. He's slow as shit. You don't think he's not going to beat anyone. That's what he's magnificent with the jump ball. Just in the red zone. Again, who the Bears have at tight end. Cole Kmet's a great threat as your every down tight end. But if you want a good goal line, almost 5-7 yard threat, I think you can't go wrong at that pick. Went with more tackle depth. Went with the big Jackson Kirkland, 5-year guy out of Washington, 6'7". With that 5-year guy, he does have a bit more experience. He's used to the grind, I guess. And again, you just need depth at those positions. Again, will he probably end up just being an extra lineman you bring in on goal line packages? Quite possibly, but if someone goes down, I think he'll be ready to go and be serviceable. Dylan Horton at edge from TCU. This is one of the ones I'm more excited about, actually. I think that his production means he could probably, I guess being behind Travis Gibson and his co-compatriot Isaiah Foskey from the draft, I think he has potential to get good snaps if he were to be picked by the Bears. Akeem Richards, just more depth on the interior offensive line. Again, more of a flyer. Larry Borum worked out somewhat okay, even though I don't really like when he plays, but hey, he plays shit. This is the one I kind of picked. I don't know. This was the most on a whim pick because he was from a small college. Jason Brownlee, a 6'3" receiver out of Southern Miss. 891 yards, 8 TDs in an inferior conference. You look at that, and it's not the world's best look. He averages 16 yards a catch. But as the 5th receiver on the roster, he's going to really be competing with Anquimius St. Brown in that aspect. Anquimius will probably be gone after this year or the next year, so he could stick around and fill in that spot. Anthony Johnson out of Virginia, same concept. Just a lengthy corner. Let's see. Is he actually lengthy? Because I kind of tailed off at the end of this. Now, of course there's 2 Anthony Johnsons and one goes to 6'1", 205. So he was lengthy. I was right. He's a 5-year guy. Started at Louisville, played his remaining last 2 years at Virginia. Had 7 career interceptions. Again, I think, just more of a depth piece. Just kind of hoping he makes it to the roster. Same with Yazir Abdullah and Travis Dye, who's just kind of my last pick. Travis Dye probably is those 3 dudes are probably practice squad guys who might come up again if injuries happen. Let's say a Deontay Foreman comes down. You're probably going to be playing Herbert and McIntosh. He comes up as just a third back. Same with Abdullah, Edwards, Edmonds. Like, you just kind of move up. Before I wrap up the video, just wrap it up. How'd the first round go? CJ Stroud, the Panthers, I think that's the right move for him. I think, and Bryce Young, I think those are the 2 right moves. Tyree Wilson's been getting a lot of hype. I think you should probably look at someone like Will Anderson or Miles Murphy as that top defensive lineman. He feels like the guy Jacksonville got last year. I mean, Jalen. I forgot his name. Trevon Walker. Right? Oh, no. I forgot his name. We're going to look it up together because I feel bad that I forgot his name. So, let's remember his name together, kids. Who actually did not have a bad year, all intents and purposes. Yeah, it was okay. I spelled his name. It was Trevon Walker. Okay, 3.5 sacks for the number 1 overall pick is not the greatest look. It is his first year. He did start 14 games. He had an interception, 2 passes defended, 5 tackles for a loss. He seems like one of those more project guys. The Cardinals do need help at the edge. I'm not doubting the position, just more the player. But also, they're kind of on a Kyler Murray's going to miss most of last year. It's a lost year anyway. You might as well pick the project, I guess. Colts need a cornerback, get the best one, Devon Witherspoon. The Seahawks, if anyone can control the head case that is Jalen Carter, I have faith in Pete Carroll to do it. I personally cannot draft a guy who drove away. It's like a more heavy top, who drove away from his teammate who did die in that car accident. I can't have that person on my team who's not going to be there he literally was not there when it mattered most. Fuck a football game, fuck all that nonsense. He wasn't there when it mattered most in a life or death situation. He folded. And I'm not saying I would not fold in. I've never been put in those situations. Never been put in those situations. However, I can't draft a guy it didn't even stop to check, really. Will Anderson Jr. to the Lions. Again, him and Aiden Hutchinson, that's a mean combo. Christian Gonzalez from Oregon. I think the Raiders should probably go defensive back if they could, Or they did go. Never mind. Miles Murphy to the Falcons. God help rest their souls. They need an edge rusher to help Grady Jarrett. Holy shit! Please get him. The Titans need someone to keep Tannehill and or whatever is left of Malik Willis upright. Peter Skoronski, the best available tackle in the draft. Go do it. Joey Porter Jr. to the Eagles. Eagles are picking 10th, even though they made the Super Bowl. Losing, was it Bradbury, if I'm not mistaken? They're going to need a corner. I picked Brian Bresee. Since we got DJ Moore, I don't need to pick Jackson Smith and Jogma anymore. Good for the Texans in doing that, though. Jets, again, need the help on the offensive line. The Patriots could use that other receiver right next to Jacoby Myers. That's a good choice. Quinn Johnson. Lucas Van Ness from Iowa to the Packers. They do need an edge rusher, again, with Aaron Rodgers maybe going. You might as well take the project. Paris Johnson, again, the Commanders' line was pretty bad. They could also go quarterback there. I can maybe see him going A-Rich or Will Levis, but we'll see. Lions going tight end, that makes sense. They did just kind of trade Hawkinson. So Nolan Smith going to Buccaneers, again, good choice. Jordan Addison to the Seahawks. That's a mean receiving core you got going on of Jordan Addison, Lockett. How did I forget? This is what happens when you're on video. You just completely goof on the Yeah, forget, the most famous wide receiver on the Seahawks, of course. I remember fucking DK Metcalf. Oh my God, okay. Zay Flowers, who I think has the potential to be the best receiver in this draft. Going to the Vikings is a good move. If Zay Flowers somehow, or if the Bears trade back much more ferociously, I wish, again, we didn't. I wish he was on the team. Darnell Wright from Tennessee, a great tackle, good pickup for the Jags if that's how it falls. Bijan Robinson to the Chiefs. This will be the second time the Chiefs have done that with a running back where they kind of pick one at the end of the first round. But Bijan Robinson's definitely more of an every down back compared to the man from LSU whose name also eludes me. And then they could make a good pairing with Pacheco because Clyde Edwards-Helaire just can't really stay on the field. Pacheco had a good year, 830 yards, 5 TDs. I think him and Bijan splitting carries is not a bad option. But yeah, in 3 years, Edwards-Helaire, he started out his rookie year good, 800 yards, 200 through the air, but then just played less and less games, lost a starting spot to Pacheco. I think that experiment's done. And yeah, that's just my quick little draft recap, mock draft. I hope y'all enjoyed it. It's been PJ on the Poverty Franchise Podcast signing off today. Have a great rest of y'all's day.